Wednesday, October 23rd, right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Chase Golightly in Phoenix, where the FBI says a terrorist attack was supposed to happen right here. The suspect, a 17-year-old. What we know coming up.
I'm Gabriella Becerra in the newsroom. A man is facing charges after allegedly shooting at a Democratic field office. We'll tell you how a community member helped police make the arrest.
We're not done with the triple digits yet. I'm tracking a hot weekend, but some fall-like temperatures moving in next week.
And the Phoenix Suns tip off their regular season in L.A. Cameron Cox will join us with a recap and postgame.
12 News at 10 with Mark Curtis and Caribe Divine starts now.
We begin with a Valley teenager accused of plotting a terrorist attack in Phoenix with the goal of hurting and killing as many people as possible. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Caribe Divine.
And I'm Troy Hayden. Mark's off tonight. The FBI claims the attack was set to take place last weekend at the Phoenix Pride Festival using homemade bombs. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly joining us live now with more. Chase?
Troy Caribe, according to the Diamond, that teen suspect had already received the supplies necessary to make those homemade explosives. Then one day before Pride Festival was supposed to kick off here, he was arrested, with neighbors seeing it all happen right in front of them. Last Friday, this is what neighbors saw in Peoria while peeking through their windows.
It was kind of stressful. We didn't know what was going on.
A swarm of FBI and local police in full SWAT gear raiding the home of a teenager accused of planning a terrorist attack.
That is very scary.
That suspect who was arrested is 17-year-old Marvin J. Lowe. The indictment against him claiming he had planned on killing and hurting as many people as possible at Phoenix Pride Festival, all to further the goals of ISIS.
The context of those discussions was Mr. J-Lo watching numerous Islamic State and ISIS videos, including those on how to make explosives.
Those same documents claim J-Lo was talking with ISIS sympathizers and extremists online. In those conversations, J-Lo reportedly detailed his plan to create homemade bombs attached to drones, telling them they could bomb the 2024 Pride Parade and take over the USA. Investigators say they found chats from January of this year of J-Lo discussing a plot to attack a parade in New York with others. Come March, investigators say J-Lo told others he could supply guns, explosives, and cars. Then in April, J-Lo alleged to have told those in a chat, "I'm legit planning a jihad, a holy war against non-Muslims." 6 months later, investigators took him into custody just a day before the Phoenix Pride Festival.
It certainly goes beyond that of being just a casual interest or dabbling or fad. I mean, this is somebody who spent some time immersing in this.
Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell tells us what led authorities to J-Lo's alleged plot, his own mother.
That they were concerned that this individual had become radicalized.
The teen is indicted on 2 felony counts, terrorism and conspiracy to commit terrorism.
The community was safe thanks to the action of our public safety partners.
Phoenix Pride organizers relieved law enforcement stepped in to stop this attack.
In the wake of moments like this, I think it only leads us to redouble our resolve to move forward.
Now, earlier today, we did knock on that door where this teen suspect was arrested in Peoria. No one answered. We did also briefly speak with his mother, who declined to comment on the situation at this time. We do know that J-Lo is facing a $1 million cash-only bond. We're live in Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Now to a case of a Valley man who's facing charges for allegedly shooting at a Democratic field office in Tempe and posting anti-Democratic signs with suspicious white powder around the Ahwatukee area. 12 News journalist Gabriella Becerra is joining us now in studio. And Gabby, police have been looking for a suspect since September.
That's right, Caribe. Detectives have been working around the clock for the past 5 weeks on this case, but it was ultimately a silent witness tip that led to an arrest.
60-year-old Jeffrey Kelly appearing in court Wednesday morning on several felony charges after allegedly targeting a Democratic National Committee office in Tempe. Kelly is accused of firing a BB gun and an actual gun at the office near Southern and Priest on 3 separate nights. With no known suspect, a silver SUV spotted at 2 of the shootings was investigators' only lead.
Ultimately, it was a silent witness tip that the public provided that helped us identify this suspect.
Tempe Police Chief Ken McCoy says a community member remembered Kelly from an incident in 2022 when he allegedly stole and cut up Democratic campaign signs. Investigators say video of that alleged incident shared with 12 News shows the same silver SUV spotted in the shootings.
That was a critical piece that helped us put it all together.
That's when the department put surveillance on Kelly. Earlier this week, McCoy says officers watched Kelly put up anti-Democratic signs attached with bags of unidentified white powder around Ahwatukee.
There is no place in the city of Tempe for political threats or intimidation.
Police arrested Kelly and searched his home Tuesday, leaving behind a boarded-up garage.
They were ripping everything apart.
Prosecutors accuse Kelly of preparing to commit an act of mass casualty based on their findings, which they say included 120 guns, 250,000 rounds of ammunition, a grenade launcher, and a machine gun in his car.
The state believes that he is an absolute threat to the community.
Kelly's neighbors tell me he's quiet and typically keeps to himself.
This is a pretty sleepy little town. It's a community right here. So, yeah, you know, you're always surprised when there's something that kind of violent going on.
The Maricopa County Attorney's Office is still reviewing the case, saying it's possible there could be additional charges.
We will aggressively pursue prosecution to protect our democracy and our democratic process.
Kelly's being held on a $500,000 cash bond. If he were to post that, the judge ordered Kelly be on house arrest. In studio, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thank you for that. We are less than 2 weeks away now from Election Day, and both presidential campaigns are making more stops in Arizona as we head to the finish line. Former President Donald Trump will be back in the Valley for a campaign event tomorrow, holding a rally at Mullet Arena in Tempe. And that's not all. He's coming back to the Valley on Halloween. He'll be with Tucker Carlson for an event in Glendale on that night. President Biden is arriving in Arizona sometime tomorrow. He'll have a Friday campaign event on the Gila River Indian community. And then Saturday, Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz will be back here in Arizona. The specifics of his trip have yet to be announced.
And as we get closer to November 5th, there are two things that Arizona voters are thinking about. How long will the lines be on Election Day, and how long will it take to tabulate the results? In Maricopa County, election officials are getting the word out now about how all of this will play out.
If I have one message for voters here today, it is this, that the longer ballot and higher interest in this 2024 general election will create longer lines on Election Day, and that's okay. But if you want to save time and you want to avoid those lines, vote early, either in person or by mail. That'll save you time, and it'll help us report more results on Election night.
We do expect that it will take between 10 and 13 days to complete tabulation of all of the ballots that come in, but we ask for the community's patience as we want to make sure that this is a secure process, but we also want to make sure that it is an accurate process.
Okay, just a few dates to remember. The deadline to request an early ballot is this Friday, the 25th. The deadline to get it back in the mail is Monday, the 29th. And then after that, you'll have to take your ballot to a drop box or a polling place. Early voting places are open through Election Day on Tuesday, November 5th. And you can get ready for Election Day by having the 12 Plus app already downloaded on your TV. 12 Plus is where we'll stream hours of live coverage of the local and state races, plus the results and the impact that they could have on your community. Just search for 12 Plus on your Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku.
New at 10, Tempe police have made an arrest in the case of a chaotic traffic stop that was caught on camera. You're looking at it here. Police say yesterday afternoon, officers found a man slumped over in this car you see here. And when they opened up the door, he woke up and tried to drive away. He's lucky he didn't get shot, as he's, and you can see the patrol cars kind of had him pinned in there, but he still got away. Now, this is the Loop 202 in Scottsdale Road. So again, he got away. Officers tased him, but he still was able to drive off. Tempe police, though, say they were able to bring him into custody earlier today.
The motorcyclist who crashed into a Goodyear police vehicle yesterday has died. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says that the officer was on his way to an emergency and drove into an intersection when the light was red. Jacob Vella failed to yield and collided with the officer's vehicle near Estrella Parkway in Van Buren. Deputies say that Vea was not wearing a helmet. Stay with 12 News for the latest updates on that investigation as we learn more. Meanwhile, some tragic news out of Mesa, where 2 children are dead after a crash on the Loop 202 near McKellips Road. According to DPS, a pickup ran into a tow truck that was stopped on the shoulder. An 11-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy who were in the pickup both died. The driver and a 3rd child have minor injuries. The driver told police that she crashed after being distracted by the kids in the car.